Hi, this is Simolytics. Welcome to another lesson. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments. Let's get started. Okay, in this video, we are going to learn how to import CSV files in Power Query. If you have never seen a CSV file, I'll show you one. A CSV file stands for comma separated values. In this kind of file, the columns are separated by commas. So let me zoom in. So you will see that commas are separating my values. When I import this file into Power Query, the commas are going to be identified by Power Query, and then they will be used to separate the columns properly. So let's import the same file in Power Query. So I'll close out of it. And then to import the same file into Power Query, I'll go to Data, just click Data, then Get Data from a file. Okay, I'm importing the data from a specific file that in this case is in my own computer. So I will get data from a file, but what kind of file? What type of file? The file that I need to import is a text or a CSV file. CSV file is a form of text file. Okay, so you could have a regular text file too, but in this case, we're going to start off with a CSV, a regular CSV file. So I'll click from text CSV file, and in my computer, I will locate the file that I want to import. In this case, I will import this file that has the same number as the current video you're watching. It's the same number as this class you're watching right now, only it's the first file of this class. So I'll just select my file, it's already selected, and click import. Then the Power Query preview will open up, and then I can see a preview of my data. You can see that all the columns are perfectly separated because the comma was used to separate those columns. And you can see that the delimiter is a comma. I didn't have to tell Power Query that a comma was the type of separator in my original file. It could identify, it's intelligent enough to identify that the separator is a comma. We could have other separators too. It could be an equal sign, it could be a semicolon, and we are actually going to see an example with a CSV file that has semicolons as separators. But normally, if everything goes right, you won't have to select the separator here. Power Query will be able to identify it. But in case it doesn't, you can always manually select the proper separator. And I could click load, or I could click the down arrow, and there's yet another option here that we're going to discuss in a minute. But we won't right now use the transform data option because we are going to work a lot on transforming data later on in the course. So I'll just click load, and Power Query will import my data. The point is, my Power Query editor didn't show up. Why hasn't it shown up? Because I chose only to load the data instead of transform the data, because I use, as we already know, the Power Query editor is used for transforming data. It is loaded in Power Query, but it doesn't show the Power Query editor right now. At this point, I am seeing my table loaded into Excel, but I can at any time just double click my query. You see, this is my query. I can just double click, and then in this case, I'm telling Excel that I need to transform my data, and then anytime I need to transform the data, the Power Query editor will open up so I can do any transformations I need. Okay, we will work very carefully on transformations in Power Query, but at this point you can see that my table was properly loaded and the columns were properly separated by the commas from the CSV file. So let me close it off and let's restart the process. But now I'm going to import a different CSV file. Let me show you what file we're going to import. And this is the same file, the same data. The only difference is that now we have semicolons as separators instead of commas. So let's do it. I'm clicking again, data, get data. It's from a file, it's from a CSV file, and I'll pick the second file, which is the second file for this class, and 10030 is the number of this class you're watching right now. And I'm going to import it, and boom, immediately Power Query was capable of identifying the right delimiter. In this case, it's a semicolon. If it weren't right, if I had any problems, I could always come and select the proper separator. So if I click colon, for example, I will have a problem because I haven't picked the right separator. So I have to pick the right one, which is, in this case, is a semicolon, and then everything's right. So let me show you the second choice. Instead of just clicking load, if I click load to, so I will have a number of other choices. I could load it to an Excel table, which actually happened to the first table I imported. You can see that importing the data to an Excel table is the default option. So that's why in our first table, once I clicked load, immediately it was loaded to a regular Excel table because this default option was already marked. But I could make a difference. I could choose to import the data directly to a pivot table instead of loading the table visually into an Excel spreadsheet. So I could just import the table directly to a pivot table, and I could do the same, only bringing the data up to a pivot chart, or I could only create a connection so that I could use this connection in Power Pivot. This is something we're going to develop later on, but I just want to let you know at this point that there are different options instead of necessarily uploading the data into an Excel spreadsheet. So in this case, I will, for example, only create the connection. I don't want to see the table I'm importing in an Excel spreadsheet. And actually, in some cases, it would be impossible because Excel has a limited number of rows, right? It's 1 million and so rows. So if you have a table that has, for example, 2 million rows, you can't just upload it into an Excel regular table. So you have to find other ways to work. In this case, I'm just going to upload the data, import the data, and only create the connection between Power Query and the original data without having to show it in a regular Excel table. Okay, so I'll just leave only create connection marked and then click OK, and you will see that I have a new query, the second query with the second file I just imported. Only I don't have the data from the second file showing up in Excel, but I can have access to my query, just double clicking the new query, and bam, my data is available. You will see that both files have the same data. I just changed the separator. In the first case, it was a comma. In the second case, it is a semicolon. And then you also had the chance to see different ways of importing the data. The first example we used was importing the data with the default option to show it in an Excel table. And the second example we saw was just through a connection that won't go through a regular Excel spreadsheet. The data comes directly from the source to the Power Query editor. And then we can connect the data and create complex data models in Power Pivot. And this is something we're going to discuss later on. See you in the next video.